I had my comrade on the parade, Rebecca Arenaitwe, a tough girl. Akashakova campaign 1 million. I was so happy with her. Give her 1 million shillings now. Gumaba Zukwera. She's quite tough from Rushanje. That's what you said. Very good. We were together with Arenaitwe. Gumaba Kwere Zakantwako. Now then there was LC1 here. But Mompere Tuktuku should get a Tuktuku for the LC1. 12 million to buy a Tuktuku. Do you have the money, Yuma? Yes, give 12 million to the Tuktuku man. For Tuktuku for the LC1 Ntare. Then the chairpersons of the LC1s also give him a Tuktuku. So I don't want to take long. Each one of you will be given 300,000 so that you go back. The Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, the other ministers, members of Parliament, the Secretariat of the Patriotism Clubs, and all the people who are here. First of all, I want to congratulate you on finishing your course and on the magnificent parade you put up here. Thank you very much. Secondly, I want to thank Ellen Seku and the instructors for training you very well in such a short time. Now this, what would you call it? This effort of patriotism, which I launched in 2009, is very crucial for the country to know what to do. Human society has been here for 4.5 million years. In some of the booklets, I trace that journey, the long journey of man. Now man, as you read in many of that literature, is a unique animal. It is the only animal that thinks and works because of the superior brain and a hand which can do work. He is able to adapt nature to his needs instead of having to adapt himself to nature. Now the 4.5 million years, when you go through, you will see the different efforts at the different times, how man influenced his or her environment. Now, therefore, it is very dangerous to have citizens, especially the educated people, who don't know what is required to live a good life. They don't know. They are talking about this, talking about that, but they don't know. This is why I keep saying management of society is like medicine, where the doctor must make a diagnosis of the society, of a patient, find out what the patient is suffering from, and therefore prescribe a medicine. Similarly, leaders, whatever they are, political, cultural, religious, they must have a correct diagnosis of society. If they don't, that society will fail. Even the Bible talks about it. It talks of a country without a vision perishes. Now, in the case of Uganda, when we came up in the 1960s, when we were young people like you, we took the trouble to see what the problem was. That's how we identified the three historical missions, which your teachers must have told you about. And these were, how do you create prosperity for the people? How can people live a good life? Now, when we answered that, we said that the only way you can live a good life sustainably is to produce a good or a service with a chibaro, and sell that good or service. If you do that sustainably, you'll get money and solve your problems. And now, that created a question. In which sector? In other words, we are saying every human being must be a wealth creator. A wealth creator. Obugaga. Obugaiga. Because people mix up development and tunguka with wealth. That is also another big problem. You can have, in Kampala, we have got all the Ntunguka there, all the Maram road, or the tarmac roads are there, electricity there, telephones are there, but in Kampala you find ghettos near that Ntunguka. You find poverty there in the ghetto. People who don't even have food in their homes. So that's why we say, in order to create prosperity, you must understand the difference between Ntunguka, which is a development in English, and Obugaiga. Now, the Ntunguka is ours. A tarmac road belongs to all of us. A school like Ntare here is for the public. A hospital is for everybody. But wealth is yours as an individual, as a family, or a company. It is yours. Development is ours. Wealth is mine. So that's why we say, if you want to be prosperous, everybody must get involved in wealth creation. Either as an owner of that wealth or an employee in that wealth effort. And then the next question is, where do you find the wealth? Obugaiga, Nushangwahi. And this is where we tell you there are 4 sectors in the economy where you can find wealth. Sector 1, commercial agriculture. And commercial agriculture means agriculture of crops, agriculture of livestock, and fisheries. If you are in any of those, with a good chibaro, I don't have time to go into all that, you will create prosperity for yourself. And I can show you a few videos here, just 2. Show us a boy called Byamukama. This Byamukama boy, he came into parliament a few years ago, but he has done a good job. Let's see what he has done. Now, there, Byamukama, after visiting me, I told him, like I'm telling you, please, if you want to be a leader, create wealth in your own home and then teach others to do the same in your area. So he went and started just a few years ago. We don't have time to see the whole thing, but you heard him saying that he has now got out of the enterprises which we recommended to all of you in the elections of 1996 manifesto. We talked about all this, but people don't listen. They are busy with other things. So, Byamukama, from eggs, he gets, I think, 300 and something trays per day. Eggs only. Then he has got coffee, he has got cows and other things. But from eggs alone, he earns a net of 55 million shillings per month, net, after removing costs. If you multiply 55 million by 12, that's about 700 million shillings net. That's one person, using 4 acres. There's another man called Ijala. He's in Serere. Let's see what he has done.
looking for the market. This project started 11 years ago. After the Salaries, the president of Ghana, when I come here, for the boy. It was not like so at the time I was working at very business in Manchester. So when I had this, when I was around, I was one and was about where I want to go to housing.
Now you can hear Ijara. He was a taxi driver, but when he heard my message, he went back to the village and started using 2.5 acres to create wealth. And now he's engaged in poultry, where he sells 312 trays of eggs per day. And he earns 3 million shillings per day. And when you remove costs, he remains with about 1.something million per day. He has also got cows. We don't have time to see them for dairy. And he gets more than 1 billion shillings a year. When you deduct costs, he remains with about 800 million. So that is one sector where you can get wealth in the form of agriculture. The second sector is manufacturing or artisanship. I am glad you are talking about artisans, teachers, being paid a low salary. I will sort it out. The artisans should be paid like scientists. Because artisans are scientists. So that is the second sector of wealth. Artisan, you show them what my skilling hubs are producing, the products they are producing, which is being done by the artisans. The products, see what they are producing. Products, not people. Products. The shoes, show the shoes. freeze there. You can imagine when NRM came, we found you importing shoes. Importing shoes, can you imagine? From Italy, from China, and yet you have cows here. And the cows have skins, hides. You couldn't make shoes. Furniture. Mama here had to fight a war in Ministry of Education when they were importing furniture from Dubai, a desert. A desert is selling furniture of timber to a country of forest. You can see okugwejigera. So those young people, after training, they are making wealth from producing artisan products, shoes, sweaters, clothes, metallic doors, furniture, etc., etc. Now, the artisan sector is together with factories. Let's see the factories that have come to Uganda during the time of the NRM. Show the industrial parks, the overhead image of industrial parks. In some parts of the country, get one of the industrial parks from overhead and freeze it there. Freeze it on the. In some parts of the country, we have got towns of factories. This old Mbarara was like a town of shops. Obduka. This one is selling Yehuzi, the other is buying Yehuzi. But these days, like that town there, that's a town of factories. Each factory employing maybe 1,000 people, producing all these products that we have been importing. So this is the second form of wealth. Number one, agriculture, wealth. Number two, artisan and manufacturing. Number three are services. You teachers, you are service providers. When you teach children, you are not producing eggs, you are not producing milk, you are not producing bananas, but you are providing knowledge. You are service providers. So you're in the same sector, like hospitality. If somebody has got a hotel, that's a service. A border transporting me on the motorcycle, that's a service. Transport, tourism, that's services. So you can also have wealth in the services. And then finally ICT, that's the other sector. It's also a service, but a modern one, which has come, which we treat it differently. So therefore, you should all be clear that yes, there is Ntunguka, development, roads, which are ours, but in my house, I must have a wealth form of wealth, either commercial agriculture or manufacturing or services or products of ICT. So this is very crucial for us to get prosperity. Remember the prosperity we want. Now, the moment you are clear about that, then now that's how we come to the NRM principles, the one they taught you here, patriotism. Because the moment you become a wealth creator, like me and Mama, from the very beginning, we are agricultural people, producing milk, producing beef, producing bananas in Ntungamo and other places. But the question was, if you produce a good or a service, who buys it? Who buys what you produce? Who buys our milk? When I produce milk in Rwakitura, the Banyankole don't buy so much from me because they all have milk. I have milk, they have milk. I have beef, they have beef. I have bananas, they have bananas. So the majority of the people who buy from us here in Ankole are people from Kampala. They're the ones who buy much of the milk, the beef, the bananas, and the other products. So it is Uganda which helps Ankole to get out of poverty, mainly. Yes, some of the locals also buy, but the majority are the ones from Kampala. So therefore, you will find that the prosperity of Ankole depends a lot on Uganda. Uganda buys the product of Ankole. Uganda buys the product of Buganda. Uganda buys the products of Acholi. You can find Acholi is producing simsim in Kitugum, all of them simsim. They don't easily buy from one another. But the people of Kampala are the ones who buy the simsim. And that's why we were able to say, oh, you people love Uganda. Why love Uganda? Because you need it for your own good, for your own prosperity. Hence, patriotism. That patriotism, as Sekou was saying, is not emotional, just love. No, you love because you need it for your own good. If you say you care about Banyankole, but you don't care about Uganda, you are not serious. Because Uganda is the one which helps the Banyankole to be prosperous. It's the one which helps the Baganda to be prosperous. So that is the first principle, patriotism. In order to do what? To achieve prosperity. Second principle is Pan-Africanism. Because once we wake up and start producing, you'll find that the internal market of Uganda is not enough. If you take milk, we are now producing 5.3 billion liters of milk. The internal demand is 800 million liters. We've got a surplus of 4 billion liters. Who is buying that? It is East Africa buying that milk. It is Africa buying that milk. So that's why NRM says, you people, if you want to be prosperous, love Uganda, but also love Africa. Second principle, Pan-Africanism. Then, third principle, socio-economic transformation. Then democracy. So, the first historical mission of prosperity gives us the four principles. I don't have time to go into the other issues, like the one of the political federation. I don't have time to go into that, but they are all written down. You will read them. So therefore, now for the teachers, once you are clear about this, then you need to know the history of your country, which I think they have told you about. First of all, Uganda was colonized from 1894 to 1962. During that time, the economy of Uganda was distorted. I don't have to go into all the details, but by independence, Uganda was producing, the British were calling it economy of 3 C's, cotton, copper, and coffee, and 3 T's, tobacco, tourism, and tea. But this was covering only very few homesteads, about 9%. The others were just okore chida chonka, working only for the stomach. Then Amin comes in and the whole thing collapses. By 1986, only coffee and tobacco are surviving. The other sectors have died. So Uganda was backward, first of all, but even the little was destroyed by Idi Amin. So when we come in 1986, the challenges we faced was, first of all, achieve minimum recovery. Bring back what the British left here, the small thing the British left. Bring back the coffee, bring back the cotton, bring back the tea, bring back the tourism. And we call that minimum recovery. And we did it. Secondly, we expanded the small economy, which the British had left. We grew more coffee, more tea, more tourism, and so on. But thirdly, we diversified. We brought in new products, like bananas being a cash crop, maize being a cash crop, milk being a cash product, beef, fruits, vegetables, fish, all these were diversified. And then we started adding value. Because when you sell a kilo of cotton, you may get $1 per kilo. But if you convert the kilo of cotton into shirts, like the one I'm putting on, you may get about $15 from the same kilo. So we started adding value. And now we have gone into the knowledge economy, economy of science. You can see the vehicles we are making. They can show them for you there on the screen. The buses and the other vehicles. Those are being manufactured here. That vehicle is called Kira. Kira is the name of the Nile. So, we have gone through these 5 phases. But we started from a very low level. Now, when it comes, therefore, to salary, initially we could not pay good salaries because we had no money. Because government money comes from taxes. Taxes are on products, goods or services. But there were no goods being produced here. So where was the money to come from? That's why we were paying very low salaries. But now, when the economy started improving, we decided to say, okay, let's pay some of the workers well, but starting with some groups which are not big in number, but are crucial for the stage where we are. Because if you say we need the roads for the recovery, for the stages I've told you, recovery, expansion, and so on, we need roads. We need factories. Agriculture, we need vets. We need crop scientists. So, since we need this very badly, why don't we start by paying scientists a bit better? so that at least they help us to go to another level. But when we did that, some people who maybe we didn't explain very well, some people said, we all must get. But if we try to give all of you at a go now when we have very little, it will not go anywhere. Okumemerera, just sprinkling. So why don't we agree and we start with these scientists? Because they are few, they are not so many. But we need them now. Arts, I am a person of arts myself. I'm literature and political science and history. But now we don't need poetry now. What we need immediately now is the one to maintain the road. You need poetry, yes. We need it to, I can quote for you Shakespeare if you want. Shakespeare said, of all the wonders that I yet have known, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing death, a necessary end, will come when it will. That's Shakespeare, now I'm quoting for you. But now, you need food now. I've given you Shakespeare, but you are hungry. So what do we do now? The Wanyankole say, Nkunandire. I joke when I am satisfied. So we say, let's start with these scientists, because the scientists are in veterinary, they are in crops, they are on the roads, they are on those factories, they are on these vehicles. Yes, let's start with this, because first of all, they are fewer, but we need them urgently now. That's really the logic. It's not that we don't want to pay all the others well. So therefore, I am glad that eventually you seem to have understood and we are moving systematically. You will be paid. The arts people will be added on. But let's go kamwe ngochi, kamwe ngochi, kamwe ngochi, kare. So that is really what I would like to mention. There are so many things we can talk about. Now, regarding the corruption, but this is very easy to deal with. If they are asking you for bribes, why don't you inform your member of parliament? What are the members of parliament for? They are also corrupt. Oh, banange, that's food there. But you can inform the bishop. The bishop somehow can go through the interreligious council and get to some of the leaders, even myself, because I meet them once in a while. Find a way of capturing this information. If somebody wants a bribe, we should get rid of that person. Should be in jail. Why should you tolerate that situation? Get the information and we get rid of these people. I have noted all the points I've done. That to go on the road, you need to pay kids to Dogo. I want to contact. Who are my staff who are here? PPS are very. You write the contact of the. But Seku has contact with them. Seku has contact with. Really I want to get evidence and we get rid of these people. The committee which drafted. Now, regarding the circles, what I promised you, this will come. I don't see why this should be a problem. The circle for the private schools, the circle for the arts teachers, I don't know why it would be a problem. Say one-time support, it's not every year. My staff, please remind me and sort this one out, and we'll finish with it. And then there was also something about tax exemption. Tax exemption, that one we need to discuss. I think let's discuss it. We don't have enough time now to discuss it. But I was thinking about it. We need to debate it with others. So therefore, I'm very happy to be here with Mama and see that you have been exposed to the way to think about the world in a correct way. I'm very happy to know that there are 12 mothers who are here. Now I would want to give those great-grandchildren of the 12, 200,000 shillings each. So my staff work with Seku to give 200,000 each to the babies. But there are others, I think they said there were 8 who have the babies in the womb. I need to give them also the same, the expectant mothers, 8 of them. 200,000. And then the PWDs, they were like 4. They should also be given something, 200,000. Now, I had my comrade on the parade, Rebecca Arenaitwe, the tough girl. I can check over campaign 1 million. I was so happy with her. Give her 1 million shillings now. She's quite tough from Rushanje. That's what you said. Very good. We were together with Arenaitwe. Gumaba Perez Akantwako. Now then there was LC1 here. But Mompere Tuktuku should get a Tuktuku for the LC1. 12 million to buy a Tuktuku. Do you have the money, Yuma? Yes, give 12 million to the Tuktuku man. For Tuktuku for the LC1 Ntare. Then the chairpersons of the LC1s also give him a Tuktuku. So I don't want to take long. Each one of you will be given 300,000 so that you go back. Mtala rumba spark mkanya kwasi. Kare bye bye. It is now my pleasure to pass you out.
Asante tena. The 2 LC1s, you come here. The chairman of LCs and the good man. You come here, Rush. And the chairperson of LC1s, Basima Francis. Your Excellency, the parade commander is a teacher of geography and Swahili, and she was requesting if she can be put on government payroll. Good man is this one. Where is Basima Francis, the chairperson of LC1s? Asante Jaja. Let's have anthems. Hold on, Commander. Okay. Commander, go on.